comment.
Hello! How do, everybody? How are we all? But where's the how many people are watching thing?
5 watching. Hello, 5.
Ah, there you are. 5 watching. We got the big eye. I'm
gonna get you down. Oh, that song 5. Fucking rubbish, weren't it?
5? Hello,
5.
Nicole. Yes, this will be interesting, Nicole, because in about 3 weeks it's coming to you. How are you, Nicole? How you doing with your easing on smoking, Nicole? Are you getting there? Are you trying to heading towards the quitting? I'm so glad now I don't even have my e-cig now. It's
how long have you gone without having that?
5 weeks. And I only have it. It's easy because I only have it when I drink. So it's only a weekend, and then I just thought, right, stop it. What was that for? You gave me a look then, like a look, one of them.
Yeah. I had a weird dream the other night. I dreamed I was out and I cracked it, a cigar. It was only the last bit of a cigar. I'm thinking, fucking hell, I've cracked it. I've only got a little bit. And I was proper like going, give me nicotine. I'm thinking, it's fucking horrible. It's horrible, this. And I woke up going, whoa, what was all that about? Anyway.
Oh, dear. Yeah, no, so tonight, boys and girls, we're talking about COVID. We've been on about this for a while, slightly touching it. But now over here in England, we've got Omicron coming up now, haven't we? And it's just come from South Africa. I think Austria's gone in for. Hello, John. They're already playing up over here, says John. Yeah, well, it's coming over. But I'm smoking more right now as I'm going bald due to my psoriasis. Oh, no. So my anxiety and stress is through the roof. Oh, that's a nightmare. Is that Wim Hof for anxiety? Definitely. Really well. Hello, Paul. Paul's getting ready for bed.
Good night, Paul.
Good night, Paul. Oh, I hope you get all sorted there, Nicole. But try that Wim Hof, that breathing. It's really good for stress. Proper. Text it all. It's really good. It's really, really good.
I had a good session today on it.
Yeah. Well, I'm on my new. Every morning now, I've been having a cold shower every morning.
Well, I actually feel bad now because I forgot I was going to do it. But through the Wim Hof, as you're kind of going off into just to relax, and I'm thinking right after this, the water's going to get really cold. Now I'm going to go and do it. So I build himself up to it. But then I actually did do some press ups. And I forgot
20 press ups a day, 20 press ups a morning, planking. I plank for a minute now.
Pardon?
Plank. You don't know what planking is?
No.
Oh, planking's ace.
Well, let me guess.
It's nothing rude.
No, it's obviously something to do with exercise.
Yeah, you go.
Oh, you just hold yourself. You're right. You just hold yourself.
George Orwell, 1984, also known as Carlos, is on it. Oi, sausages! No way, Paul does 20 hours at shift at work now. 20. We're gonna.
Fuck off.
No, I've been because I've been on it now. I've been watching. We'll get into it then. We'll get into it because, as we all know, we've got Omicron over here. John Indle, hello, John.
Big John's here, good lad.
Good man. We got this Omicron coming in now, and I've been looking into it loads, but been looking at proper doctors, not journalists or YouTubers or anything like that. I've been looking at that. I'll put the link to one of them below, which is really good, John Campbell. I'll put the other one that Steve sent me to, which is really good as well. What's he called, Steve? The guy you've been looking at?
Dr. Sanil.
Dr. Sanil. He's totally English accent.
He's English.
How do, Chris? How you doing, pal? So, and I've been looking into everything that's been going on, and what's coming to England now, what we've got now, and how bad it's going to get, and from everything that I gather. Now, this, before we start, nobody knows anything that they're talking about here. Do you know what I mean? We don't have any, none of us are experts or anything like that, but we're here to chat about it and tell us what you think about it as well, and your personal, what you think, your experiences and all that, That's what we're here for now. John McDermott, say hello, John. Get it all off your chest. What's been happening, everything John. That you think about it. Dean's here. Hello, Dean. How you doing, pal? And So this I've been looking at with this Omicron that's coming over because they've had it from South Africa, and the good thing is in South Africa is that this Omicron spreads quicker than any other variant ever, but it's a lot milder because we've already already had it and been vaccinated or actually had it. Like in South Africa, they have is it a 70% natural immunity? And the numbers of actual being in hospital are really, really low.
Well, that's what I'm hearing, that even though it's spreading and it's fairly harmless-ish, and but that's not what we're hearing. I've had to listen to the fucking news this week a bit.
No, I haven't. How do Rory?
No, because I've always avoided the news. But
how do Ray?
It's unbelievable. All I'm going to say is it's like a record.
Well, the main thing is that they've been doing, and the old doctors pull him up, is they put the frighteners on us, say vaccine I agree with. Oh, by the way, I haven't had my booster. I should have had it today, and I've decided not to have it. Because I've got my antibodies test. I've registered for an antibodies test.
All right, so that's why I want to do it. This is one of the things that bugs me. One of the major things that bugs me. When I spoke to the doctor, I'm asking, can I get me tested to see how much protection I've got in me? They're making me sound like a conspiracist, like I'm a fruitcake. Like, just get the vaccine. Just get the vaccine. Stop being stop listening to all shit online. Where I'm thinking, what? Well, this is the nurse. I can't even get to the doctor. I'm going to the
NHS online. Just go to NHS online. Just do it online.
Big John says something about you can do something online. But yeah, that's totally what I want to do.
I did it today at Wagon. Today I was parked up having some dinner, and I just did it today at Wagon. And I've registered for it. So, I mean, they're supposed to do it.
But why is the nurse not telling me that? Why do we need?
Well, this is the thing. This is what's going on. What's this?
Listen. I went through all the 1-1 things. I just give up in the end. There was no option of that.
Steve, go on gov.uk, order one for nothing. It's easy.
Send me a link afterwards.
Gov.uk. Remember this. Gov.uk. Gov.uk. Remember that. Gov.uk. That's it. You remember that now. On Monday, one channel, they said it's pretty much harmless. On the other side, they said it's dangerous. Well, the conflicting is because they've all got it from. Obviously, we can only watch Africa where they've had it. Now it's more contagious. We're all going to get it all at once, apparently. Like it's going to be we'll all get it, but it's a lot milder. If you've already had your vaccine or you've already had it, it's milder. It's a lot milder because a lot of us now have either had it or had vaccines. You know what I mean? So we're a lot better off. So it's looking like it's. I mean, the governments are doing the worst case scenario from everything I've been. That is what they do. They do the worst case scenario so that they're ready, because so they don't look a bunch of cocks if it all goes wrong. So that's what they're apparently doing. But one thing they're not doing is promoting vitamin D and zinc, which is the most important.
I've never seen anything like that. Never, not once.
Vitamin C, vitamin D, you cannot just and you've got to get the vitamin D inside you. It's so amazingly good against everything. What it does,
it's easy.
It's cheap and zinc as well. Zinc is brilliant, and I'm on zinc. Go on.
This is where it makes me question things. Why? The main problem is it's simple, isn't it? The hospitals are getting full because too many people are ill. How do we stop people being ill? Well, get fit, vitamin D, all these things why is the government pushing that?
Why are they pushing this?
Why is that not a thing?
Yeah.
That's what I don't get.
Obesity is the third worst thing. It's old people. Then it goes to people with underlying, really old people, people with underlying illnesses. And then after that, it's fat people, obesity. That is the third worst. If you're a big fatty, like me and him.
I think stress is really up there as well, isn't it?
Well, fear, isn't it?
Obviously.
Head on. We've got a full-on... a virus was released to kill off the elderly and infirm. It didn't do its job as well as expected. They're just using it now for a political and financial gain. The biggest shift of wealth from the poor to rich has happened while this is going on. 90% of the world will have natural immunity by now. No need for vax, just follow the money. I don't agree with anything about it being made to kill off the elderly and infirm at all. That's just weird. We don't know what happened with that. It's a big fuck up with China, isn't it? By the looks of things, you know what I mean. But there's a lot of money being made in the vaccine, that's for sure. You know what I mean? It's about if it's about that's right. But they are shifting. Oh, it is. Oh, what's it? Jimmy's here. How you doing, Jimmy? But
if it's truly about saving lives and stopping the hospitals being full, why on earth are these simple things not being pushed down the throat? The theory and all that shit is being pushed down the throat. The vaccine's being shoved down the throat. Why is something that's very cheap and simple not being pushed down the throat? I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Are these fucking fruitcakes? They might be actually onto something here.
No,
when I say fruitcakes, you know what I mean. But,
no, but it's Dirty Del Boy. Yes, scaremonger to fuck.
Oh, no, scaremonger to fuck.
Yeah, but I mean, there's definitely a lot of money to be made out of all these vaccines. There's no two ways about it. I mean, that ivermectin that they have, which is already available, and he's magnificent in Japan. Do you know when they had it all? Jimmy's here. How do Jimmy?
All right, mate.
Hello. But I'm coming out swinging tonight. I've got my gloves on. They're thinning the herd. They want loads of people fucking gone. There's no other reason for these things being out there. They're not needed. This Omicron's a fucking cold. Why would you? They're going to shut the world down again on December the 18th for this. They're going to destroy the economy. What that kid said then about the biggest transfer of wealth in history. Yeah. Bezos has during the last lockdown. Bezos is like, I don't know how much, but he's fucking his income.
There's no way that was planned, Jimmy. That's just a byproduct of what happened in lockdown.
I'll have to say to you, go online and read the document Operation Lockstep. It was done in about 2015, and it outlines everything that's happened in the last few years. Operation Lockstep. Ask anybody. There'll be a few in your chat who'll understand. Operation Lockstep. It's a document by the Rothschilds, and it outlines anything that's just happened in the last few years.
So how is it online then? Right? How is it online if it's all this massive super Rothschild family that has all this power? How is it still online then? What's it called? Operation what?
Operation Lockstep.
Lockstep.
Right. The part of the rules of their game is they have to let you know what they're going to do. And they always do. You watch too much BBC. You're brainwashed with the BBC, and you think...
I don't watch the BBC.
You just stop watching it, you prick.
You think the government cares about you and your general well-being, and they don't. They want us all gone.
No, they definitely don't give a fuck about us. If this is showing anything, the government don't genuinely care what's happening to us.
No, it's all political. I totally agree with that. They're all frightened because of politics. They'll only do what's good for politics. I don't. You just seem to think that I just walk around waving the government flag at all. I don't believe in that shite. I know they're making money and backhanders and all that kind of stuff. But there isn't a worldwide policy to get rid of us. Go on, Jimmy.
At what point will you stop being vaccinated? Let's just analyze.
I haven't had my booster, Jim. I haven't had my booster.
No, saying now after this booster, it's mutated again into this, that, and the other. Everybody needs this other booster or whatever. You know, what would you not even start to question that then and thinking, hang on a minute, it's a bit fucking...
I have questioned it because the World Health Organization, a guy from it, actually said it's an absolute disgrace that we're giving boosters to healthy people who don't need it, while third world countries even have the first vaccination.
You were laughing at me the other day when I said, what? When you said you're having a booster, I went, what? I said, you've had vaccine, you've had COVID, you're double vaxxed, but you're going for a booster.
Yeah, and that's when, after that conversation, and then I started looking into it, didn't I? That's why I've changed my mind, Steve.
Oh yeah, no, fair play, but
that's what you do. You change your mind. I've looked into it more and more.
Yeah, it's right.
Do you know what I mean? I looked into it. And I thought and I thought it's right. And it's like Jimmy said. Actually, I was watching your show the other night with the fantastic Mr. Redding. Fucking hell, I was laughing my ass off. But like Jimmy said, when's it ever going to stop? You know what I mean? We're always going to keep getting, and which I do agree with. You know,
you've got Martin Redding. You've got Martin Redding in chat tonight. You might be
Martin. Easy. Oh yeah, right, mate.
He was so funny. Has he got pants on?
I have to keep him wherever I go with me because I'm on supervised watch.
Well, I'm holding you responsible then, James, for him not wearing pants. The guy's walking out, tackle out everywhere.
To be honest with you, it's a prerequisite. I tell him if he wears trousers, I won't speak to him again. So
let's have a look. Let's have a look. So let's have a look. Come on, we're all. Walsey's old Planky. Go read about Lockstep. I'm with this guy 100%. I will look into Lockstep, but my thing still stands. If all this great power is getting rid of us all, how come it's online?
Like I said,
how can this great power not protect itself? Apart from this,
like I said to you before, it's all a game, and the rules of the game is they have to tell you what they're going to do.
What do you mean it's all a game? What are we like, James Bond?
No.
You really think we're in a James Bond world conspiracy where there's a bad guy stroking a fucking cat?
Do you not think all of history has been a game? Do you realise that all world wars since the Napoleonic War were both sides were funded by the Rothschilds?
Yes, it might be funded by people. It doesn't mean it's all that. Anybody will buy arms. We sell arms to everybody all over the show. They have nothing to... It's the history of what the Western world's ever done. They go over to countries that fucking... All they have is sticks. We give them all our shit weapons. And then they go over and say, look, they've got weapons here. They're a dangerous country. Let's go and blow the fuck out of them. The old Bill Hicks one. You all saw him. He had a gun.
There's somebody called Ray trying to get on, but the device is not
connected. Yeah.
It might be a picture of a naked black man.
Where are we? I've got to keep up with chat. Steve, keep an eye on chat as well. We're fucking
I am trying. I put John's thing up. I didn't know that Japan have stopped the jab. Apparently.
Yeah, because of the do you know what? The ivermectin thing, right? You know the ivermectin drug?
Yeah.
You know the ivermectin drug? They've had since 70s. Cheap as fuck. Proper cheap. Works really well. So they had it in Japan. It was all really bad. And then they haven't authorised it in Japan. It's not like the government said use this, but everybody can get it. And they've been taking it like fuck, and it's gone right down like that. So, you know, I mean, we have to be careful. Hello, hi, I'm Mega Slow on the keyboard. I'm happy to come on live. Yeah, come on, Ray, if you want to come on live, pal.
There is so many of the vitamin D being proven now to be working.
Absolutely, it's a proven case. There's no point.
We knew this ages ago, didn't we? Ages ago,
absolutely.
This is like a new thing that's come up.
Nope.
Like Rogan and others have been papping on about it for ages, but it never just took off.
No.
Something so £4 for a year.
Yeah. Hold on. Hey, click on that. There's a link there. Click on that StreamYard. Who's it? I forgot who it is.
Is it Ray? Is it your Ray?
I don't know. It's A. Anyway.
Big John. Yeah, Big John.
They stopped it. They stopped it in Japan due to the death. Hey.
Due to the deaths of the jab, I presume. Yeah, try and jump on, John. Woz has put the link in.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Ruari says, sorry to be glum, but the vaccine won't save you. One of my relatives has just vaxxed and booster. Has just died, vaxxed and booster. Well, they don't say that it will absolutely 100% give it to you. Sort you all out.
It's Ray Maisie.
Hello, James. How you doing?
Hello, Ray.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, pal. Yep.
Brilliant.
What are your thoughts, Ray?
Well, I've missed a lot of your conversation, guys, so forgive me because I couldn't get on because of the browser I was using. I'm going to be very controversial, I guess, but I think Jimmy has been, from what I heard. I don't know.
Always.
All of this from day one, guys, and this is not to be controversial, it's just what I believe. It's been a total setup from the beginning. I've never thought any different. It's got nothing to do with health. Zero, zilch, nothing. That's my take on it.
Why do you say that then, Ray?
Because it's been done. It might sound a little far out, I guess, to people who don't look at different things. It's been done to totally transform society.
Could be. It really could be.
But why?
Why is the question?
Right. If I was looking at it, okay. What I would say to you guys is this: forget any conspiracy type stuff for a second. If I was to look at this just scientifically, okay, I'd be asking the questions: why did they deplatform all of the top epidemiologists, virologists, immunologists, pharmacologists, and vaccine experts? Why do we not hear from them? The top people in the world, Nobel Prize winners. How come they've all been deplatformed?
Well, that is the thing. I mean, that is the thing. I mean, this is the thing that we like we said, we talked about earlier. I don't know if you caught it, but why are they not pushing vitamin D? Why are they not pushing zinc, which are cheap, super cheap?
Because, guys, honestly, the first 2 weeks when this came to our shores, I'm going to be honest with you, I think I spoke to Jimmy about this before, actually. The first 2 weeks it came to our shores, I thought, shit, what the hell? Okay. Yeah. But then after 2 weeks, when I started researching it, I went, Jesus, look what's happening here. I am under no doubt, not one scintilla, nothing, zero, zilch, that this is being done to totally transform society, both financially and socially, and also population control, to give it a nice word.
Yeah, but
that's why it's being done.
Yeah, but what is the rate? See, you've got to be careful. I appreciate what you're saying there, absolutely. But it's like you've got to be careful what you're looking at. And also, how many people have actually died worldwide to make a significant effect on population? There's not been a significant effect on population
yet,
here, has there?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, but now we've got a lot of us immune to it. They were saying that with this Omicron, it'll spread through, but a lot of us now have got immunity to it, and we won't. It's not going to be anywhere near as harmful.
But what I'm saying, guys, and this is it, it's really awkward because it's full of dilemmas, this period. It really is. Mm. I've not been jabbed. I've never wore a mask. I've never done any of them things. It's not about the virus. It's about
Steve's got a friend. Tell him about your poker, mate.
No, let me we'll go back onto that in a bit. I'm going to go back to the beginning when this thing first started. When I heard about it, I remember thinking, right, this time, because when we had SARS in 2002 or 3, when I was in Asia at the time, I seen all the paranoia and all the scare. I'm thinking, fucking hell, these lot are really blowing this out. When it started coming, the same kind of talk, I thought, this time, because of social media, this is going to be a different kettle of fish here. It's going to blow up like you won't believe. And people are going to be... I couldn't guess what was going to happen, but I just knew it wasn't going to be a simple case of how it is. And thankfully, the main thing is we haven't all died of a disease, have we? Some people sadly have. But thankfully, this massive doom and gloom and this thing that's still to this day pressing to us 2 years on, it hasn't happened.
Yeah, but it's a big news event because the news doesn't tell news anymore, does it? It's all about sound bites and money. News is a business now rather than just telling the news, isn't it?
But I think deep down that is the problem of it all. Shit news sells and panic and drama sells, and that's what's caused everything. I don't think it's some secret this and that. I don't think it's a big massive plan. I just think it's massive overreaction from social media. Big John J, he's got something to say here. He's a good mate of mine. And his missus.
Ray, I'll just let Ray wanted to say something. Go on, Ray.
Yeah, sorry, John.
Just going back to what you said, Steve, about this in 2003. I'm pretty sure about this. In 2003, there was a German guy who happened to be an epidemiologist, and he was also a politician. So he had a lot of political pull strength, and he stopped that going mad. He stopped it. That's why it didn't go mad. he put the blockers on it.
Right.
He caught them, and this is the second go at it.
Well,
anyway, a good friend of mine, John, in
John.
here in the house.
Yeah, it's Steve on.
Hey,
good
John. How you doing, Johnny?
I'm gonna waste laugh and learn.
Go on, Jimmy. You were going to say something, mate, before John has to say.
Ray is more of a facts and figures man. I just put ideas that I can't back up, so I look like a fool. But Ray actually, Ray actually knows the facts and things, and I don't know if Ray will concur on this one. It's actually a communist takeover of the West, which will make Woz guffaw.
Correct. But only communism. It's their sort of communism. So basically, it's going to be the monopolies and corporations who are going to be the new state. It will be state-controlled, but they will be the new state.
Hunger
So it will only be communism
sure we've had
in theory.
this. I'm sure we've had this conversation has been had over and over through time, over and over back through the past. I'm sure it has. I'm absolutely. I'll lay odds on that this conversation. Not the first time.
Go on, sorry. Sorry, go on, Jimmy. I'll just add this one little bit. I don't need to be aware of this, but there's a top lawyer, European lawyer. He's very well known. He's won some massive cases against Deutsche Bank and VW, and he's currently put in a class action lawsuit. He's put it through against all these measures based on what Jimmy and I have just said. And he's a top lawyer with 100 lawyers behind him and all the scientists. About 150 interviews he's done with scientists. And all this is now going to court as a class action. Go on, Jimmy, sorry.
All I said was, if you don't think it's real, look what's happening in Australia.
Yeah.
Just look at the situation in Australia.
What's happening in Australia?
It's a test bed for it in Australia. They're just pinning people, they're pepper spraying all women for not wearing masks. And Ray, will you fill in the blanks where I have lots of?
Who's that? Other people? Is that other people turning on each other? You mean?
No.
There's becoming a fight side between the blacks and the young blacks.
A police chief has come out saying we're going to make sure everybody is jabbed, so no one has a choice whether.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That I mean, if they're doing that, that's just.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Jimmy's right. It's unbelievable.
Anyway, John, let's have your little say as we introduce you, Matt.
Yeah, well, Lizzie's my voice.
Liz, you jump on as well, mate.
She knows everything what there is to know about it. Just saying,
it's a lot better looking you. So we could not hear from Liz.
The other guy we're talking about the German scientists and stuff.
Yeah,
he's bob on. That's exactly what. Well, Lizzie looks into it all because she scrutinises everything, and she tells me, and I believe her because I know what she's like. She scrutinises everything. And she's been looking into this for years, same as like your David Icke's and people like that. David Icke was made to be seen as an absolute fucking lunatic where we come across.
But he was though.
But he wasn't. No, he was trying to get a story across. He was trying to get what was happening across. 30 years ago, Steve, this started. 30 years ago, this started. He went on Terry Wogan's show. And they made a laughing stock out of him, just so she won't believe him. And they made him put words, not put words in his mouth, but saying, "Oh, he believes in aliens,and you know."
Spot on, John. I've read one of his books. I've read one of his books.
Well, you know more than me. It's Lizzie who tells me all these things, and it's like you start listening to what he has to say now, and everything what he said in past. Is what's happening now. It's what's generating now.
Go on, Jimmy.
Just a quick one. Hello, John. Ike returned to the Wogan show a few years later, and he taught Terry Wogan a new arsehole. It's on YouTube. And the first time round, where Wogan had him on the back foot.
Yeah.
Ike had Wogan on the back foot, and he was flummoxed.
Right. I've never seen that. I don't think. Oh.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's the return when he comes back on.
Yeah, but he did. The BBC tried to make a mockery of him, and all the newspapers and everyone just tried to make him look like a fool. And it's not just David Icke; it's his son now and other people, Richie Allen and who were other guys, isn't there? Who were preaching on about it. Loads of people, but you never get on You never get on the TV. You never get on the main media. A lady came on the other day about giving the under fives vaccines, and she started really talking sense. She weren't screaming and shouting and talking a lot of bollocks. And they just phased her out. They just cut her off. They didn't want to hear what she had to say because it was right what she had to say.
Yeah, giving the kids vaccines is a really bad thing. It does more harm giving the vaccines than it actually does because you don't get COVID.
Anybody who comes on TV who starts to make sense, who starts to talk in a language what's making sense to the public, they're fucking gone.
I used to listen to the, I think, is it BBC Radio? No, is it the radio show, whatever? I forget what. Is it Radio 5? But they seem to talk a lot of sense. It was like really like lots of opinions. Then next minute, they all just like stop talking about it. It's like, they've been fucking told to shut up or something.
It all gets hidden.
You know what I mean?
It's like a director's whispering in their ear going, you can't talk about that. You can't talk about that subject in that way. Stop talking about it.
That's exactly how it seemed to be.
Yeah, well, they had the Dark Horse podcast, don't they? With what's he called, Bernstein. They got kicked off YouTube, didn't they? And they were like proper professors.
No, they're still on. They're still on. They're still talking.
No, they're back on. No, they got kicked off for a while because they went on the other, didn't they?
There's a doctor called Vernon Coleman who used to be a TV doctor like Dr. Hillary. He was a TV doctor for BBC, I think, in the 80s. And was it because he was talking about not backing up Big Pharma and stuff like that? He got kicked off. Now he talks a lot about it. If you try and get him online and listen to his podcast from how long ago, Lizzie? 2 years. So he's been going on about this before the first lockdown. Yeah.
But the big thing is that's definitely is that ivermectin, which is that like they had a super cheap thing there, a super cheap vaccine.
Well, Donald Trump mentioned that first, didn't he?
But the proofs, but the proofs were all there. They done loads of, and they knew it worked. But
what's this about the football that's dropping dead?
Yeah,
correct.
You can't have an emergency medicine because it's against what they're going for. They're going for giving all these injections out, and who knows what. Then you can call anyone a conspiracy theorist or whatever. But if you listen to the stories, what these scientists are telling you, if you're getting the jabs, you're putting yourself at risk. Because it's either or, isn't it? You're either getting the jabs to protect yourself, which you may do, I don't fucking know, or you're not getting the jabs, and it's all the unjabs what'll go, or a vast percentage of the jabs.
All vaccines have a percentage of danger to them. People have
not like this one.
Well, I don't know what the rate is, so I can't really comment on that.
You only have to look at your friends and your relatives and other people who I work with a lot of people. I'm a salesman. I hear a lot of. One of my builders had the second jab last week. He's gone blind in one eye. He had a blood clot behind his retina, and it's blinding.
It's blood clots, blood clots.
And his doctor said it's probably an adverse effect at jab, but you can't put a claim in against it or anything because they put disclaimers on it all.
Yeah, go on, Jimmy.
Very quickly, I've wrote a song about the vaccine to be released soon, but they're also, with the footballers dropping like flies, they're saying the heart problems are an effect of COVID. Not the jab. It's the COVID that's giving you out.
And just to expand on that, Jimmy,
Matthew Letizia questioned it. He got cut off on Sky, as he's telling me. They had him on, and he questioned why these footballers were, dropped like Ericsson and a few others. I don't know. There's lots of them.
I've just this minute read an article on it, and
one minute.
I can't confirm this, but I'm pretty sure it's true. The FIFA register over the last 20 years has showed between 4 and 5 people who've dropped on the pitch due to any sort of breathing or heart problems. 4 to 5 every year over the last 20 years. This year alone, up to the end of November, 185.
Wow, fucking hell. If that's not telling you something.
185 players have dropped with...
Yeah. Who's registered with FIFA.
Across the world,
Wow. Well, it's because they do say that's why they say you shouldn't give it to kids, because later on, it can give them heart trouble and stuff like that. I've been looking at that, and they're saying
I've seen so many cases, guys. But to me, the big giveaway to me is what I said at the beginning. Why would you not like the likes of Mike Yeadon, who was chief scientific officer at Pfizer for 17 years? He was vice president.
Yeah.
He's well respected, a lovely guy, and he's told us from the beginning. He's told us from the beginning. Nobel Prize winners. Nobel Prize winners. It's been based purely on PCR tests, this pandemic. PCR tests, which are 97% false positives. 97% false positives.
Really?
Yep. That's why it's Rainer Fulmich, that's what his court case is. It's purely on the PCR test. 97% of they can prove it.
What's your name? Sorry, pal. I can't.
I'm sorry, it's Ray.
So what about
the lawyer?
When the media starts talking on TV as well, they just start talking to you in such a patronising manner, like you're a child sat at a school.
They've always done that. They've always
but they do it in a lot worse now, Warren. It's just like you listen to them, and it's like, who are you talking to? We're not brain dead. Who are you talking to? Why are you talking to us in such a way? And they never give you the facts or anything. So it's just the way they're pushing. They're pushing the jab now. They make up this new Omicron or whatever, and that's just there to push a jab in my eyes.
You don't believe?
To be honest, guys, I've been listening a lot to the psychological part of it because I knew it wasn't about health from the beginning. So all I've been looking at is the psychology part of it, and it's huge. It's huge. Yeah. There are thousands of psychologists working on this, and there's a Belgian psychologist came on the other day, Matthias Desmat, and he sussed eventually what they've actually been doing, and it's called mass formation. And basically what he's saying is this, the upshot is this: 30% of the population have been hypnotized, pretty much hypnotized.
It feels like that. Totally 40%,
40% are sitting on the fence, just going along with it for whatever reason. And then 30% just think it's a pile of crap. They're on it. And so that's what he's come up with.
So are you saying that the people that are ill and dying, it's through psychological means, they brought it on themselves?
No, who's dying? Who's dying?
Well, my stepmom died of COVID.
Okay, but you're saying COVID, and no disrespect, and I think, Matt goes out to anybody.
You're all right, carry on, Ray.
It really does. You've got to remember, in all honesty, nobody's isolated this virus. The PCR test is given a 97% false positive. So how can they test what anybody's got? How is that possible?
Well,
did you not die of influenza? Did you not die of influenza or pneumonia or whatever?
Can I just give you a scenario here?
Well, she had a heart attack.
Right, let me just give you a scenario here. If you can all put yourself in this situation, imagine we've been in a coma for 2 years. You wake up from a coma.
Yeah.
We all say to our family, as we're coming around, we don't know anything about what's happened, who's died in the people that I know and famous people or whatever. They give you a full list and tell you what everybody's died of. Then they say to you, there's been a major thing happened in the last 2 years, continuous for 2 years. Can you guess what it is? You think anybody would guess what it is?
Yes.
If that makes sense, what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I think so.
I know what you mean, Steve.
Yeah. You couldn't guess that this thing has happened just going on.
You think it'd be a war. You think it's been a war.
All the people you personally know, what the people have died. Because I know lots of people have died. We all know lots of people have died.
But what about your mate that's ill and in hospital fighting for his life?
Right,
What's he fighting for his life?
Yeah, but
no, listen. Let me put that scenario to you then. So, such a body, people have died here, there, and one of your friends is ill in hospital with a virus, and he's oh my God, is he? Then we're going to say to you, but what is the problem in the world of the last 2 years? What's happened is a major thing. Can you guess what it is? I'm going, well, I don't know what you mean. Just because one of your mates is on a thing, he does it.
No, but I'm saying about what I'm saying is,
general.
Yeah, but it's all right saying that, but I mean, right, so all these doctors.
I don't think you get what I'm saying then was. No, for yourself, you just woke up after 2 years.
Yeah, are you trying to say where's the evidence? Are you trying to say where's the evidence?
No, you're talking over me, was.
Sorry.
You talk to your friends and family, you ask them, what everybody's been doing, what's happened to, I'm saying that you would never be able to guess that it is what has actually happened off what's happened to your friends and family. And that's all of us here. And anybody, is there any of us here that knows, like, say, 5 or 6 people that have died from it or something like that? Big number, a bigger number than, say, cancer and
yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Go on, Jimmy.
Quickly, one of the most abhorrent things during this whole time is they've stopped seeing cancer patients, so they've just died.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They stopped treating. If this was for health, people with fucking cancer have stopped being treated.
This is the whole point. It's not for health. It can't be for health.
That little boy who got killed.
Steve, just going back to your point, Steve, what you've just said. Yeah. What I would do is what I waited for at the end of the year, and that was overall death figures. How many people in the UK have died of all cases, everything? How many people have died, right? And I looked at those figures. Okay, they weren't the lowest, but I'll put it this way to you. I've been through 4 flu seasons worse than this.
I have, yeah. I have.
Yeah.
So, and I'll be honest with you, and this is a bit controversial, I think people were murdered at the beginning of this anyway, with Melazodon in the care homes and in the hospitals. That's what I believe from the research I've done. So if you took them off, but your figures would be lower than normal.
Ray, how do you mean murdered? How do you mean murdered?
Steve, Warren, my mum and dad got cancer and they got put on that drug. I can't even pronounce it.
Liverpool pathway type thing.
Liverpool pathway.
Melazodon.
They both got killed. Not killed, but we had to sign a form. Me and my sister had to sign a form to basically end my parents' lives because they told us.
And that's what you do.
They told us that they were suffering from cancer and they didn't have. My battery's going to run out in a minute, guys. They told us that they had cancer and they were going to die and they were going to suffer. But if you give them this drug, they'll die peacefully. And they did, to be fair. And at the time, I thought that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I really did.
And sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. I agree.
I believe in people.
But is it not most likely the right thing to do, though?
Is to do that.
Yeah, but I mean,
you mean you're murdering them, though, does it? It's
they probably,
but they didn't do that. They didn't do that.
They either live for an extra 3 or 4 weeks suffering, or this drug killed them in 72 hours, and that's what it did. 72 hours. You don't live any longer than 72 hours once you've been given that.
It seems like they
were doing that to people in care homes at the beginning of COVID. Put it down to COVID, yeah.
But that was with consent, Steve. That's totally different. What John's saying. John consented to that.
I think it's a different.
What I'm saying is, people couldn't visit the care homes. The doctors couldn't visit the care homes because they wouldn't go in because they said they had COVID.
Nobody could come.
The Melazodon, apparently, I can't prove these things to you, but I've seen it, and I know there's court cases going on about it, and I've listened to car workers, and they ordered 3 times as much Melazodon in the first 3 months. I don't know if anybody else has heard
this. Matt Hancock ordered 3 times the amount of Melazodon than what normally gets ordered in a year, in a calendar year. They do order it. They do put people to sleep like they do a dog. It's just a way where the Liverpool pathway they used to call it.
Correct, they did, Liverpool pathway,
And in 2020, Matt Hancock ordered, I think it was 3 or 4 times the amount of what normally gets ordered by this country in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's be careful not to go too far down rabbit holes and all that, because you know what I mean.
I know, because I mean,
but that's the problem, though, Steve.
There's enough solid bullshit going on.
If them are your thoughts, though, that's what they are. Because you've got some people who've not gone down the rabbit hole.
You call it conspiracy theorists, but we're just diggers of information. Like I keep mentioning Lizzie, but she scrutinises everything what's out there. She listens to the people's podcasts. She listens to people who were in the medical industry. And the pharmacy industry, which aren't now because they've been gotten rid of because they don't believe in what they're doing.
Yeah,
so
but you have to be careful, though.
Voice.
We talked about this before, John, as well. And I'm not saying that anything's not right but when you're looking at something, if it says something that you agree with, then you do tend to latch onto that. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's totally.
I'm guilty of it.
Tell enough lies.
Do you not think, guys?
People will believe you.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask you though, guys, please.
Tell enough lies and it becomes the truth.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem.
True.
That's where we're stuck in the middle, because we get a lot of the media bullshit, which totally is sensationalised, and they're not giving out all the information, and they have a lot of that. But then we get the other side from all the conspiracies, so you're getting it from both sides.
But it's only through conspiracy theorists. They're not giving a second opinion on the television, on the Andrew Moore show on a Sunday morning.
Correct.
There's no other virologist or doctor coming on giving their opinion. If they've got a different opinion to it, they don't get on.
John, just to say what you're saying there, does anybody believe this seriously? All these people, they are top epidemiologists, virologists, immunologists, they're world renowned. Do you think they've all gone mental overnight and become conspiracy theorists? No, it's impossible.
John, Ray, they must have other platforms they can use other than main media.
Yeah, they get kicked off them all. You only have to look at Facebook. You mentioned COVID.
YouTube.
The warning sign.
So how come there's all this Dr. John Campbell then that I'm looking at this, looking into stuff like this, and he's giving all these information?
Because he's not been deplatformed.
Yeah, but
he's not been deplatformed.
On YouTube. Anybody can go on YouTube.
No, you can't. You can't. Mike Yeadon can't go on YouTube. He's been deplatformed.
So why
he was chief scientific officer for Pfizer. Every person has been deplatformed. Dolores Cahill, loads of them deplatformed. They have to go on BitChute and Rumble. They can't go on YouTube.
No, well, the doctor you're talking about he isn't too conspiratorial.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he is. What I'm saying
but he's saying why has he not been took off? Because he's not saying anything to. The only thing he's really saying is why the government not talking about vitamin D and. As soon as it comes to anything like that, he backs off. You can feel it in him.
No, he does.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there because I'll get fucked off. You can hear his voice.
Yeah. Sorry, go on, carry on. I'm just looking to do chat as well. Actually, we've been neglecting. We've got Gloria Miller who's giving shitloads on.
When you read into it, Warren. Well, I don't read into it. Lizzie does, right? I do, but I believe every word she says. I'm not one for picking up a phone like I am now and scrutinising everything and looking into everything. But my girlfriend is, right, and it's not only her. And then she'll say, "Listen to this, John." And some scientist comes on a podcast through Richie Allen or another guy, and they interview this virologist or whoever, which can't get on media television, and you listen to them talk about it, and they've been barred from, like Malcolm said, they've been barred. Sorry, Ray, they've been barred from going on TV. But when they go on these podcasts, what these other guys have set up, and they start talking, it's like, why would they make it up? It's like, wow. And then, once you've seen it, you can't not see it. Once you've seen what the
question is why. Because there's definitely something's not right somewhere along the line.
Population it will take over through money, some kind of money thing or population thing. I don't know.
It's a complete. I'm 100% convinced. But that obviously, that's your opinion. But
Gloria has a good point. Gloria has a good point here, actually. Gloria Miller. Hello, Gloria. Welcome to the show. Thalidomide in Europe was safe and effective, yet 10,000 children in 46 countries are born with deformities. So that we know is true. That we know is true.
Yeah.
That's a very good point, that Gloria.
Yeah. Well, exactly that. But I think what
who made that? Pfizer.
It's what? Sorry.
Pfizer made it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Thalidomide.
Which caused it was for morning sickness.
Right.
It was given to females when they were pregnant with morning sickness.
Yeah.
In the 70s, in the 60s, 70s. I don't think it got into 80s.
I don't see the point. I'd like the connection, to be honest.
It's a drug. What they said was safe.
I know it's a drug. Yeah, it's a drug that went so badly, innit? It doesn't mean all drugs go like that. Just because one drug slipped
No,
through.
but
You
no,
still
but
think they can. You're in a trial at the moment, and a vaccination trial. They still call it the vaccination
All right, I
trial.
get that point then.
Yeah. I mean, where do you reckon we'll be in 5 years then?
It depends how it goes.
But seriously, do you think? So do you think then? No, but so do you
So
think in about 5 years' time? Do you think in about 5 years' time, with all this power shifting and money shifting, there's going to be a noticeable effect on?
Well, we don't know. That's what we've got to try and protect, mate.
It's incredibly hard to imagine now. In like 10 years before, we can have a good guess what's happening in 5 years. But all a lifetime, you can have a good educated guess. Not one of us here can have a good, genuine guess what it's going to be like.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Do you think
that question seems crazy now, doesn't it?
No, that's what I'm saying. Do you think like there'll be like a lot more state control and stuff like that? Can you see that? Can you envision that? Do you think there'll be more state control?
No, it is a good question. It's just.
Well, it's just listening to everybody. It's just listening to everybody, and how Ray's saying now they're state control and all this kind of stuff, which I not 100% disagree with anything like that. But do you see there being an agenda that they're going, like 5 years' time, will we see the after effects of all this?
Yes. Klaus Schwab has said by the year 2030 you will own nothing and you'll be happy. What do you think that means, was?
Own nothing and be happy? Well, probably because because we'll have all we'll have all the gadgets and technology and distractions.
John, I think John's battery's run out there.
Nothing will be ours, but thanks, John. Nothing will be ours, I suppose, because more and more people are renting. We're being priced out, aren't we? The rich people are getting richer. There's no two ways about that. But we do have more wealth now than what we've ever had.
Yeah, everything's changing. This is what I'm saying. All the people who think like me, and there's millions of them now. There never used to be. I'll tell you that now. Millions of them now. But every person who thinks like me, I'll be honest with you, they're bricking it. They are scared. They are very, very concerned. This is massive to them, and it is to me. Agenda 2030, what Jim has just mentioned, which is Klaus Schwab, he's tied in with it anyway, is not a conspiracy theory. It was done by the United Nations. United Nations Agenda 2030. It's not a conspiracy theory. It isn't.
Go on, Jimmy.
Ray, you'll know this better than me. Am I right in thinking that Operation Lockstep outlined this whole operation was happened for the last, and it's available online to view?
Correct.
And what
Rockefeller Foundation? Yeah.
I said to Woz before that the rules of the game, which is a game, is they have to tell us what
you're doing. Correct.
See, that's what I don't buy into. That.
That's why I can't go that far.
Okay, that's a bit. But yeah, I believe that what Jim is saying. But don't go there. You don't need go there. You don't need.
But
go
I will
there.
say,
but I agree with it.
Whereas 2 years ago, I'd have gone, no, not aware. Now I'm a bit more. Could it be? I'm more open to the conspiracies type questions now. Because it's this term happened. How and why we don't fully know. But
the thing is though, Steve, everybody used this term conspiracy theory. I'll tell you now, when I first went online and mentioned,
it's a put down.
Of course it is. It was brought in by CIA in 1960s to do exactly that after Kennedy's assassination. No, when I went online, when all this first started, I used to get absolutely slated. No, I'm now seeing millions. It's like in London. There was about 1 million people marching in London. Wasn't even televised. Don't get television thing. In Germany, 1.5 million were walking streets. They said 17,000. Yeah. So all this is being subdued, covered up. Everybody's deplatformed. John said he's not allowed on TV. He's not just allowed on TV. They're not allowed on YouTube, Twitter. They have to go on all these bloody... You'd never find them. I mean, somebody else will host them for a short time and they get the... For an example, Rainer Fulmich was in Belgium the other day with MPs giving a press conference. He put it on YouTube. It was only a very, very small channel what did it. It got 500,000 views and then it was taken down by YouTube. That was the other day. Everything I send out from YouTube, it gets taken down. Because that's how it works.
I've got another good scenario here we've been thinking about. As in, because it's mainly about, especially with the travelling, getting the jabs and the passport and all this. If you haven't got the jabs, you can't.
Yeah.
There's no mention of having your own natural immunity.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought the same thing today. Yeah.
But think of this scenario: you've got an elderly woman or something wrong with them, where if they get COVID, they're going to die. That person has to go in a room. You've got a choice of two people. One that's been double vaxxed and boosted, one that's previously had COVID. 100%, one of them has got COVID now. Which one are you going to put in the room? Does that make sense, the question?
Sort of. But
people. There's two people. One has to go in the room. One has been vaxxed, boosted.
Yeah.
The other one has had COVID. That's previously.
Who would I get to isolate? The one who'd been vaxxed.
No, one is going to go in the room and give COVID to an old elderly person. Which one?
The one who's been vaxxed. The one who's been vaxxed.
The one who has been vaxxed. Surely. Because was you got double vaxxed, but you still got COVID.
Yeah, you didn't say you wouldn't.
You know, my point is,
and you also it won't stop you from passing. It won't stop you from passing it on neither.
Yeah, I know. So, but why is the point about the people to be allowed to go there and everywhere? Why is it not proof of immunity? Not
I
proof
agree. No, I absolutely agree with that. I said the same thing today.
That's not even on the topic. It's not, I can't hear that topic anywhere.
I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. If you've got the antibodies and you can say, look, there's my antibodies. I've got my antibodies. I'm safe. I've had COVID. There's my antibodies. That should be the same.
So that shows you that isn't the reason. It can't be the reason.
If we didn't have
and there's a lot. I totally agree. There's a lot of money to be made in these vaccinations. I absolutely agree with that.
It's not just that, though. It isn't just that. I mean, there is, and that's what they're doing. But it isn't just that. It isn't just that. I mean, to me, guys, I'm not being, and it sounds as though I'm being. I don't mean be rude. I was in Costa the other day, watching them come into Costa with a mask on, and this is not to either dig at people or whatever. I've struggled to get my head around it. I really have, and I don't mean that being disrespectful, because I'm into all that type of stuff, all psychological stuff, and I've been really struggling to get my head around it. It's not made sense to me, and I'm watching people, and I'm thinking,
what's that? The masks?
Yeah. Well, from a few levels. Number one, come on. You're not going to stop a virus going through there. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, secondly, you're walking with a mask on, and then when you sit down, you take it off, and all this bullshit. It's beyond comprehension, guys. It really is.
It's turning more into a status than anything, and it seems to be.
The only reason why I put a mask on is to make other people feel better, and that's the only reason why.
But that's pushing it along. That's pushing it along, though, was that?
No, it's just I'm just politeness in me. I just don't want to make people feel that.
I know, but do you know what?
Same, yeah.
That's the problem, and I don't mean that nasty, because if I thought like you, I'd be doing exactly the same. But because I think like me, what am I thinking? You are pushing this agenda forward. That's why I won't wear a mask. No way.
I personally think it's better to be safe than sorry. Because as much as you may have the mask thing, you can find evidence to completely show that no masks do work. So I'm just rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
I've not seen any evidence that masks work. None. Zero.
Well, it's 100% out there. Maybe you're looking in the wrong places then. Maybe you're only looking for the places that you want to look.
Peer-reviewed scientific papers.
No, Ray, if you think about this now, you're only looking to the places you want to look.
No.
Because 100% there's loads of things on masks working.
Do you know, Steve, I can't tell you how much, begin to tell you how much I wish you were right. From the beginning. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong. So I'm looking for something all the time to make me wrong, and I can't find it.
Come on, Jimmy.
Ray, Paul Webster knows the name of him, but didn't a top virologist say?
Yeah, Judy Mikovich.
Using a mask to keep the germs out is like putting chicken wire in your garden to keep mosquitoes
out.
out.
Judy Mikovich,
Yeah. I agree. I know.
But what I'm saying, guys, the peer-reviewed papers. There's no evidence to suggest.
Yeah, if you can breathe. I mean, if you can breathe, then the germ's going through, isn't it? Because that's where you get it. But wasn't there? I mean, am I saying something about how it's? Because obviously it's a respiratory thing, isn't it? But that's the thing again. You see, it's. I mean, you believe it exists, Ray? You believe there is COVID?
I believe there's a coronavirus. Yes, there always is every year.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do believe that. Yeah, but that's it. I don't think it's anything special. No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. It's. I don't know.
It's a
It certainly doesn't
coronavirus.
seem to be, and thankfully so.
Hey?
Say
As,
it again,
as much as I have a mate he was a massive conspiracist, anti-vaxxer and all, it's all bullshit. Well, he's fighting for his life right now, and he's on the ventilator. They're trying to get him off it because you leave it longer, he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But
that's fine. My best mate, my best mate died of it. My best mate died of it. Okay, he died of it. But I'm sorry. Much as I love my best mate, I can't look at him. I've got to look at statistics from like Office of National Statistics.
Exactly.
And look at numbers. I look at numbers. I can't just say, "Oh, my mate's died." Or paramedic in Wigan Hospital told me they had somebody who's died in COVID or whatever. I can't do that. I have to look at statisticians who look at these sort of things.
It's just got to be massively over exaggerated, hasn't it? It's got to be.
It is. Well, it is. It was a computer model. COVID's a computer model. It's never been isolated.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fighting as well, like from the off. I knew this was going to be a lot of bullshit from the off. So I'm kind of fighting that mentality because really, I'm a lot of these.
You're sitting on the. I'm not knocking anybody. It's just been to me, Steve, to put it bluntly, nothing about health and pure psychological operation. If we hadn't have had TV, nobody would know anything different to any other year.
Exactly.
Nobody would know anything different.
The words I said at the beginning, I said, this is a cure for this, what's coming up. I went switch off. And I'm totally right. I feel like it's massively about
that's the thing. That is the thing. The thing is that it's the power of the media now has clearly been, like exposing what they can say. I mean, how mad is it that Donald Trump was like pretty much right when he kept going, you are false news and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, the stuff they come out with is like proper woo there. Because there was a guy. How do John? There was a guy.
I'm just going to go to the toilet and make a cup of tea and bring John on and fuck me off.
Where's Johnny? Oh, he's down here. He's there. How do John?
Hi, John.
So the way it's been manipulated now. I mean, the way it's been spread through the media. There's all kind. But that's the thing now. So you have all the media telling you one thing, and then you go through all the other sites, YouTube and everywhere else on Facebook and all that, and then you get all the other sides as well, and the amount of information, and everybody's right. Everybody's right. All the information. I'm telling you it's this, and then I'm telling you it's this, and you look at these facts, and then somebody else will come and say, and you look at these facts. Everybody's got facts. Everybody's right. What the freak?
I'd go back to the same thing on that one. I'd go back to the same thing.
Yeah, but it is that, Ray. It is that, though. We get somebody else in here who was totally saying this is the fact on, and YouTube, you had it all night.
Yeah, of course. That's why I don't. That's why I came on here because
I'm saying though. Yeah.
I wouldn't go. There's no way you'll see me on anymore. I don't argue with people. I don't debate with anybody because there's nothing to debate now, as far as I'm concerned. There's not even a debate there. To me, I don't know what people would be debating because all official stuff. This is official.
There's never been a
debate.
This is
official stuff.
About it.
It's official stuff, what I'm quoting. This is not unofficial stuff. Office of National Statistics, that's official. It's not conspiracy.
Yeah, but somebody else, I guarantee that somebody else could come in and bring you other official statistics and all that.
No, they couldn't.
These are official.
They can't.
Yes, they can.
They can't. No, just bear with me on that one, please, because that's important. If you're going to the Office of National Statistics, that's the government site for numbers. That's the official site. That's it. Right. There is no other. That's it.
This is the same government that you don't trust.
No, Office of National Statistics aren't the government, but they're the office what does numbers.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're going to have, if we're going to be corrupt, then the corruption will be right through everything, wouldn't it?
I think it is. I think they've been pushed as well a bit. But anyway, I'm just knocking my wire about. I've got a wire here. I'm as deaf as a post. Jimmy will tell you, so I have to wear headphones.
I thought you disemboweled yourself then, Ray. I thought, Jesus Christ.
No, it's a tough one, and this is it. If you've got, I just want people have a look at all these. Forget me. People say, "What's your opinion, Ray?" I've not got one. My opinion is what the special, what to me I class as the professional side, the scientists, not me. Who am I? I'm nobody.
The specialists what have been sacked, the specialists of what can't voice their opinion anymore on media, they're the people what Ray's been listening to and we've been listening to, and that's where we're getting our facts from, because it's through the like the national stuff. I can't even say it, mate. I can't even say it. But that's where you're getting it from, and they can't put any bullshit on that. That's a
bullshit can be put on anywhere, John.
You can put bullshit on anywhere. I agree with that, but I'll still go back to my same point. What on earth would these scientists, who are well respected, have nothing to gain except abuse and getting deplatformed and losing all the bloody whatever they had, to speak up against it? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Seriously.
Why cut somebody off TV if you're speaking up against it, like Ray said? Then
but they'll never
do that. They'll never do it in a live debate. Never. They don't. They get floored. They get whitewashed.
It's question time. All this lot, but they're putting people out there what are getting paid off anyway. The media. So the BBC, the newspapers, the Express, whatever journalists are there. The questions are so fucking stage set.
You know that. And I tried looking because I thought I could love a good debate. I love it when you get two sides in it. You can't put like COVID.
You can't find a second opinion, Steve. You can't find another opinion, a different opinion. You can't. You don't get a scientist coming on who's been like that guy who's used to work for Pfizer for 17 years and got fired off and whatever. I mean, the scientists in the world would have died. They've actually been. They died. Chinese scientists who were into all this carry on and who probably knew too much from these labs in wherever have died. It's like fucking Narcos. You go against them, fuck off, you're dead. That's it.
Well, that's it. I mean,
it's like Terry Mullis, the guy who invented the PCR test. He said outright, "This is a joke. You can't use this." This was before they started, but he knew you couldn't test for stuff like this. What they're doing, they've amplified it from 25 up to 40. It's just a joke. It's a complete farce.
It is when you look into it. It really is.
Well, that's my opinion.
Go on, Jimmy.
My question.
John Lennon's in the house.
My question to you all is: where's it going to end?
Depends which way it goes, Jimmy. It depends who wins.
Go on, let's take it in order. Where's it going to end?
I guarantee there'll be
the vaccination rates are going slower and slower.
Hold on, one at a time. Where's it going to end?
Another 5 years from now, there'll be another distraction, another sensational thing, another thing to keep us all.
If they win, who you're talking about, the official, I won't be here.
I won't. I'll be in a camp.
I won't be here. I'll guarantee it. If they win in 5 years' time, I won't be here.
Why won't you be here?
I'm not needed. I'll be dead. No, I'm serious.
You'll either be dead.
How do you mean you'll be dead? Why will you be dead? Why will you be dead?
Because if you were trying to depopulate for a reason, they have screwed us. If you look at the financial system, I'll tell you what, no wonder they're pumping trillions into it every year, propping it up on the stock market. Inflation's going through the roof and people don't realise it. And all they're doing is keep putting money into the stock market to keep it floating, to keep us preoccupied until they can put a digital currency in place. And then they'll bring in the, what's it called, Jimmy? I bloody forgot now. Where you get your
Cryptocurrency.
No, they're doing that, but I mean,
what's the point of all this? Like, what is the end game of
the end game? You'll get what's it called? What's it called? That money you get when you won't, they go and pay. Bloody hell, rates come from here.
Social credit.
When they give you a set amount of money every month from the government.
Social credit.
Oh, universal basic UBI, universal.
Yes, universal basic income. So they're going to give you universal basic income to the ones they want to keep. To the ones they want to keep. Why would they give me universal basic income? I'm a liability to them.
Also, Ray,
we've had Dole for years.
Can I just say, and if you want to get the bit, and if you want the UBI, you'll have to be vaccinated fully.
Correct. Of course you do.
Fucking anybody, but
no, well, they bollocks. No, you've no chance.
We've had Dole money. We've had Dole money for years. Jesus Christ, it's no different than that.
It's changing, though. Was everything's changing?
I tell you something. I guarantee it won't be any different. We'll have all this.
Well, I'll guarantee you this. I'll guarantee you this. No matter what happens, if they win or people who are siding, who I think win, I'm going to guarantee you, your life will be nothing like it has been up to now.
Right,
nothing.
Well, I don't think it will. Go on, Jimmy.
You say about 5 years' time was. Are you familiar with the social credit system in China? No. Ray will know more about this. Basically, what's in place in China now is a system called social credits. You're scored on a series of things. How many fines you have, your behaviour on social media, your conduct in society, whether you've been in prison, whatever. And you think you have 1,000 points, perhaps. Now, if it goes below a certain number, you cannot use public transport. You cannot get housing. Ray will fill you in. That's basically. But 5 years' time, if they get the way, that'll be in place. Social credits for it. And Christopher Ashurst in the comment section mentioned it.
So definitely, we're all going to be communists then, do you?
That is the model.
The segregating society now with the jabbed and the unjabbed. It's mentioned every morning on TV. The jabbed and the unjabbed. And that's apartheid.
And this,
it depends how far they take it. We could be like, I don't like to say the word, but we could be like black slaves in 17th century in another 5 years or whatever you say.
What Jimmy just said is spot on. Just look at China. Just look at some of them cities in China. They're already doing it. They're already doing
communist countries, though, aren't they? We're not. You think?
Yeah, but that's what they're doing here. But that's what they're doing here. How? You won't have a job. Nobody will. You'll work for the state. All the businesses will go. That's the first job, flatten all the businesses. Why do you think they keep locking us down? They want the businesses finished.
Collapses.
They want them wiped out. The monopolies are going to take here. They're going to come in and sweep up, mop up. And then they will be the new state. They will be the new state.
But what's the end goal to it? I don't get the end goal.
Right, okay, Steve. Well, then bear with me. The end game's dead simple. Let put me as Mr. Global, Monopoly Man. I'm going to control the planet. The planet, not Britain, the planet, right? What I want to do what I want to do then, I have to sink this economy, take all the assets, and then I'm going to be the new state. So any work, you work for me. If I want you to. If I want you to. And you'll get universal basic income if you behave yourself.
So we're basically doing 1984 George Orwell then now.
Yes, except worse.
Exactly, yeah.
How long ago was that written?
That was written was it in the 30s, 1930s or something like that?
And then we're still not, and it's still... but I'll tell you, okay. No, but the conspiracy theory's been going that wrong way though, hasn't it? You know what I mean?
No, it's not, because, but I've not, right. What the difference is here was, we're actually seeing these things happening. This is happening. We're seeing businesses shutting down. We're seeing people being jabbed. Working on a health passport, which is like a pass. It's not a health passport. It's got all your data on there. It won't be used for nothing to do with health. Nothing. So it's a digital pass.
I just said to was the reason it took so long is because they didn't have the technology to implement it up till now.
Correct. Well said, Jimmy. Yes, good point. Yes.
To implement everything.
Yes.
Having,
Yes.
100
But
years.
I know they're dropping. I know they're dropping bollocks. No, they're dropping bollocks because what this is. No, this is just a belief. I'm not saying this is spot on, but this is what I believe. They saw an opportunity in China when they said they had this bloody virus leak, and they thought, this is a moment, guys, and they flicked the switch. Everything was in place. Everything was in place. They've been planning this for decades.
Hundreds of years.
And now they're dropping bollocks because they've done it too quickly. And everything, they're making a bloody ass of themselves. They rushed all this vaccine and all this. Well, vaccine's no bloody vaccine, is it? But they've rushed all that. And if they hadn't, I think we'd have had no chance. Because they normally go very slowly. Very slowly. But this last 12 months, 2 years, it's been like a bloody steam train coming down. It's like, shit, look at this. What's going on?
Oh, dear. John McDermott says 5G. John, please don't go down that route for crying out loud.
I'll tell you what's quite incredible, and this will for sure will happen. It's like a 2 or 3 month cycle of the next. Oh no, there's another one. There's this cycle every three. It's like what another one?
What Jimmy mentioned earlier, Agenda 2030, Steve. It is not a conspiracy theory. You can look it up. It's from the UN, and look into it. Look at Agenda 2030, right? And they won't tell you everything, but that's what's happening now. That's what's happening. You won't own anything. You'll own nothing.
Well, I agree with Ace. You're all thinking too deep into things you'll never be able to change. Live your life, enjoy stuff, and use common sense. Life is way too short to focus on the dark side of theoretical bollocks.
No, for fucking hell, for once he spoke sense.
I absolutely agree with that.
I think if
I don't think it's theoretical when it's happening.
I think
they're already giving digital passports out. They had a bloody vote on it at House of Commons, for God's sake.
Maybe selfishness, but there's fuck all we can do about it. There really is.
I think people get excited.
Well, we'll see.
It's more like we're living in a film.
If you've got say 20 million people in this country who don't want it, well, I don't think they can control that.
No,
personally.
they can't. No.
I don't think they can.
No, I don't either.
Go on, Jimmy.
I don't know.
Everything aside, the fundamental thing is here: you should be able to have the right to choose to vaccinate or unvaccinate without being punished.
Yep, absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. This force.
Aside, that's it. You should be able to say, "I appreciate the vaccine. I'd rather trust my own immune system. No, thank you. I just like to go about my business." They're saying you can't travel. You can't go to theatres or pubs. You can't. Do
exactly what Ray said.
Because I just got dirty down. He says, how can you justify blackmailing people with a medical? I don't justify anything. I think it's disgusting. I think if they go down the route of that passport, I think that's completely the wrong thing to do. Like I totally agree with what Jimmy said.
Down it, Warren. It's there now.
I will say, when I was contemplating getting the vaccine, I did try to get it as well, but before. When I eventually got COVID and it came up, one of my first thoughts was, fucking hell, I wish I'd been vaccinated. And I still stick to that thought that I would rather, even though I obviously ended up being well and everything, but I would rather have the jab before I get COVID. And I would definitely recommend people to do the same. Because, of course, it's not perfect, but I think it's what...
Yeah, but what about...
what it outweighs. The danger of a vax compared to getting ill as fuck from...
well, okay, let's have a look at that, Steve. Because please, Jimmy, please, 1 sec. Sorry, mate. Just going on that, Steve, what you've just said. You were saying, in comparison to having the vax, the danger. Right.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling you what the danger is, number one. Nobody, right? The only official stuff you can get is the yellow card system, which is a government system, which people have to try and put on the yellow card system. And to put something on the yellow card is very difficult. And let me tell you now, how many people have died from this vaccine in the UK?
No idea.
I've
no idea. 1,800 people.
Out of
how many adverse effects have we had? Reactions?
Well, it must be millions.
1.5 million. 1.5 million. But what they're telling you on the yellow card system is this: only 1 to 10% maximum are reported. They'll tell you that. And there's 1,800 people dead. Normally, when a vax gets to 40, when they reach 40 people dead, it's stopped. So
I don't know, but I know I kind of don't trust these numbers one way or the other.
No, that's what I'm at. I mean,
when it comes to this, I can't. My brain goes, wait a minute, it's all getting numbers there, numbers there. This is from that. This is from that.
Yeah,
so there's a couple of doctors that I follow on YouTube, like the Indian.
Well, look at official stuff, Steve.
And he recommends the vaccine and.
Yeah, we do. These others, like the doctors, like Steve's running out, they will look on, and they look at, they pull up official figures like and all this stuff. And I'm not saying you're wrong, John, Ray. Sorry, I'm not saying you're wrong at all. But I'm also saying that you go on imright.com and you can chuck up what I don't know. You'll say it's like proper sites and all this lot, but everybody goes on proper sites, don't they? On both sides, this is the official. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Like I said, honestly, I've been wanting people to. I want you to be right. I don't want to be pigging right. I want to be wrong. I won't be wrong. I'm looking all over the place for try and make me wrong. I don't want this to be true. What I'm saying. Do I bollocks?
Yeah, but no offense, Ray. But when you said about the masks, to me that proves that you're not. You're only looking for what you want. Because there's definitely things out there about masks being right for good.
But you said to me, Steve, the risk, and so I said to you, how many people have died from it? And you said, I don't know. So what have you seen? Nobody's told you nothing then. Nobody's died. Has nobody died?
That's not the point I'm saying. I'm talking about how you're saying there was nothing. There were no doctors of evidence that masks work when there is.
No, let's just go back to the numbers about dead, about the vaccine. Let's have something specific where have people died, Steve, from the vax?
I presume so.
Yeah.
Sorry?
People have died from.
I presume so. Yeah.
So how many's died? What have you come up with? What have you seen?
I don't know the numbers. This is,
Have you seen anything? Have you seen anything anywhere? Has any official person told you?
No, but I'm sure.
Has Chris Whitty told you?
I honestly don't even know who that guy is. I don't watch the news like that.
Yeah,
I watched 5 minutes of Boris Johnson's thing the other day just because I was watching this. Other than that, I'd never watch it.
He's not vaccinated, Rizzler. Somebody said, can he ask Ray if he's vaccinated? No, he's not vaccinated. He hasn't had the vaccine.
I think he's being funny.
Rizzler's asking, Rizzler's a good
No, it's for a comment. No, I've not been vaccinated.
Ray says, this Ray guy is only searching facts that fit his point of view. The facts are all out there. Don't pick and choose. Manspouting, total conspiracy BS.
But you see, I've had this for 2 years. I've listened to all this for 2 years. Yeah.
Hang on, to defend Ray, aren't you both using facts that fit your point of view as well?
Everybody uses facts that fit the point of view. That's the point, Jimmy.
I'm devil's advocate. It's not just Ray, it's everybody.
No, everybody does. Don't get. Everybody does. Yeah. Everybody uses it. It's really difficult to try and be honest. When something fits, you go, ooh. And then you look at that, then you'll follow that, won't you?
I think this is pretty good. I think this is pretty good. What's Jimmy's view? Jimmy, I'm pretty sure I know what your view is.
Something undisputed for both sides is this vaccination is a clinical trial till 2023. Everybody taking part is taking part in probably the biggest medical experiment in human history. It's an mRNA.
Nuremberg Code.
The first vaccine of its kind. It's an mRNA.
It has to be, doesn't it? That has to be.
It changes you. It alters your DNA. It alters your blood cells. When this experiment was done on animals, all the animals died, and the experiment was abandoned. Am I right? Ray, am I wrong or right?
Yes, no, that's correct. This term vaccine, guys, I'm not being funny. It isn't a vaccine. It's gene therapy. It's an mRNA. It's a messenger RNA. It's totally new technology. They've never used it before on humans. It's not a vaccine. It's gene therapy.
No, but isn't it? No, isn't this? This is a coronavirus. We've had coronaviruses before, and that's how they work off them, don't they? I'm
saying people are saying this is a vaccine, but I don't know how it refers to a vaccine from anyway. Again, from everybody I've listened to,
because it gets all the spike, doesn't it? The spike protein, and that's what it attaches itself.
Why do other vaccines do that?
Yes, that's how they work with the corona, don't they?
No,
don't they?
No.
It alters your blood cells. It alters the shape of your blood cells. This vaccine.
Now this is the trouble with people like us talking about things about we generally know fuck all about.
I agree. Listen to the scientists. Listen to the scientists.
To speak sense.
Listen to the scientists. That's my point. That's my point.
I would ask though, with these scientists, I'd follow the money to who's funding them. And
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that.
Are they independent, or if you followed the money, would it lead to Pfizer or AstraZeneca or Moderna or whoever, or Big Pharma in general? You know what I mean?
Well, I was watching on that.
Yeah, totally agree.
I was watching on that. Do you know that John Campbell, the doctor, and he was saying that they're doing a post review of everything, of all the vaccine jabs, and the people who are doing it are Pfizer and bloody Johnson & Johnson. It's like, well, that's not right. How can that be right? I
think the difference between us guys, seriously, I've really tried hard to want it to be what you guys are saying. I really have, because I don't want it to be.
Truth.
I don't want it to be. I've seen them all. I've listened to them all. I'm not everybody, but I've listened to that side, Steve. I've spent. I'm not going about it, but I've listened to loads and loads of people searching for information to prove me wrong. That's what I've been searching for. Because I'm
still very confused. I'm not nearly as saying like, or you're completely wrong. I'm not saying you're completely wrong at all.
I'm not qualified to say you're wrong. You know what I mean? Not at all. I'm not qualified to say you're wrong.
Well, this is what we should have more of. We should have more of these discussions with people in general, being allowed to talk about this without the fit. Because literally before we're going,
correct. That's why I've come on.
We'll call it the V word. We'll call it the C word. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
We can't just talk about what a massive disaster, whatever it is, has happened. The world has had a disaster this last 2 years. And the fact that we can't openly talk about it without thinking, it's going to get fucked off.
And I don't know what
it says, but that says something.
I'd love somebody from government or the government scientists to come on and tell us how many people have died from this vaccine. That's what I'd like.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to hear. Why is nobody telling you? They won't tell you because they don't want to tell you.
You won't be happy with the number anyway, and I wouldn't be happy. I don't believe the numbers that governments give us. That's the trouble with that.
That's it. And that's why, Steve, I totally agree with that. And that's why, at the end of the day, you've got to look at the scientists you're listening to. Do I trust these people? Are there any alternative sources where they're getting the money from and all this sort of stuff? Why would somebody like Mike Yeadon, who's absolutely nothing to gain, and yet a fantastic reputation, phenomenal reputation, he's destroyed his career. He's put his job. He's done all sorts. He's Dolores Cahill, Robert Malone, you name it. There's bloody Montagier, whatever his bloody name is, French guy. There's loads of people, loads and loads of people. They've not gone by me overnight, and they've nothing to gain, nothing, and everything to lose. But on the other side, guess what? Guess what shares they've got? Smith, GlaxoSmithKline, and all the rest of bloody drug companies.
Oh yeah, it is. No. There's definitely things going on. There's definitely things where there's money pushing, agendas. Absolutely, totally agree with that. But I don't go down the idea of thinking, we're all this big.
This is what gets me with the whole
big bad James Bond movie that we're in. I don't get that at all.
Talking about India, for people that anybody's been to India, it's mass poverty, people dying. You see it. You see, it's horrendous what they're doing to their own people. Yeah, well, that's just life. Africa, all these places in Africa. No, that's just kids die 2,000 every day. They've been dying for years. 2,000 every. Oh, that's just But suddenly, this other thing. No, the world's fucking mental. It
No,
doesn't
yeah, it
add
is.
up.
But I mean,
It just doesn't add up.
but what about? And yeah, I'm not going down there. I say India because it showed them
All I
the
would say, the only argument I've with
we're okay going to fucking space.
the only argument I'd have with you guys who think differently to me, and this is my only argument with anybody. I've listened to loads of your side, what you're talking about, because like I say, I want some evidence from somewhere, so I'm looking for it. But have you guys looked in depth at what I'm talking about?
I've looked into
You're not
some
going
of
to have
the
a different. You're not going to have a different opinion if you've not looked at anything, have you? Are you?
No,
and I don't mean that nasty.
On certain things I've looked into, but
I've only looked into it since we announced last week we were doing it, and that's the only time I've
really
looked into it.
That's been it? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
I really have. Because like I say, I'm just sick to death of everything, of both sides, and I really am. I won't watch the news anymore. I'm sick to death of the news. I mean, that's the one thing that
Jimmy, where do you feel? What do you think's behind it? What you said at the beginning, a communist type state.
Well, we've been down this road, Ray. We're not going round in circles.
No, but I'm asking him. I won't know. I want to know.
Can I just, without even asking, I know for a fact. Well, if I'm wrong, I'll run down this street bollock naked. Was it 9/11 an inside job or not?
Well, this is irrelevant.
No,
it's not.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
Is there any way that you just seen that as two planes going into buildings by terrorists and they brought it, or do you believe in something else?
It was an inside job.
But that's
yeah. We know your answer. This is the truth.
I know, but okay. But
what your answer is.
Well,
that's why I'm not running down the street bollock naked.
I'll tell you my answer, Steve. I'll tell it. What I'm saying is this. This is a lot easier to suss than 9/11. A lot easier.
But do you see where the problem lies with the way you think?
Yeah, we have a different opinion.
This is my problem with why I don't go down these rabbit holes.
No.
I've done all the 9/11 ones and all that, and that's why you can't spend your life going down a rabbit hole and we can't read everything. We can't.
Ray, you believe? Ray,
but I don't think you need to.
Ray, you believe Big Brother's out to get us all, don't you?
I believe what? Sorry.
Well, we know what.
I'm sorry, guys. Go on. I'll have to do one. Go on.
Sorry, pal. You do believe. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on, pal.
How would it affect you, both personally, if it was proven categorically that 9/11 was an inside job?
Oh, I'd be like, yeah, fair enough. I agree with it.
Would it kind of affect you?
It'd change the way I think. Yeah, it'd change the way I think. Yeah, definitely. If it was absolute proof and they came out and it was like, oh my God, all right, and it was absolute, no doubt about it, proof, it'd change the way everybody think. There'd be absolute anarchy, wouldn't there?
Yeah, I mean, that aside, like I said before, the fundamental thing here is the fact that you should be able to live a life with the choice of not having these vaccines and not.
I absolutely agree with that, Jimmy.
Regardless of 9/11 or fucking David Icke's lizards or whatever and all that, you know what I mean? It should be like, no, thank you. Okay, then go about your business. You can go flying. You can do what you want. Other than like, I'd like to go to Tesco's and buy a fucking loaf. Can we see your vaccine passport, please? No, you can't have a loaf. Fuck off. You know what I mean? I
don't think there's anybody, Jimmy. I don't think there's anybody that believes. I'm sure. Well, there's always going to be a few, but the majority of people will definitely say there's no way this vaccine passport is right at all. Do you know what I mean?
We'll see.
It's ridiculous. It's bollocks. You know what I mean? Like Steve said, what about if you've had COVID and you've got your antibodies? You're just as healthy and as protected as somebody who's been vaccinated. So,
but Pete, the problem I have that was, I mean, people are going along with the other things. To me, and answer this for me, please. And I don't mean to be nasty. I really don't, honestly.
No, you're right.
If you went to a restaurant and you walk in with a mask on, but then you take it off when you sit down, does that not seem a bit strange to you?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Then what makes you think? What makes you think you're going along with that? What makes you think people won't go along with vax passport?
Because there's a big difference between putting a frigging paper mask on to actually having.
Okay, so they said to you, you can't go and buy food. You can't go and buy food without your vax passport. What are you going to do then?
Well, that's the thing. What are we all going to do then?
Well, there you go.
I don't know how far it's going to go, but it's definitely going to go somewhere.
I think it'll kick off.
Somewhere like that.
I think it'll all kick off. I think,
and that's what they want. And that's what they want. And that's exactly what they want. And I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't.
We're going on for an hour and a half now, and I think it's been a really good debate. I properly enjoyed it, and Ray, Jimmy, and John. I think we should maybe do another part 2 in a few more weeks or something, because I think it's a good, interesting one, isn't it?
Put that back up. I didn't see that.
Ending, isn't it?
Let's do it in 5 years and see who's left.
Bring it back up. No, you'll need till 2030 to get a good gauge. Shit.
Moz has just read me mind. I was going to say 5 years live from the FEMA camps. Wasn't Steve short? We was wrong.
I want to finish on this though. I want people to know I'm not knocking them. I'm really not. My love goes for all of you. It really does.
No, Ray, I mean that. That's why it's a debate. That's why it's
exactly.
A debate,
but my love goes to everybody. I want everybody to become good out of this. Everybody.
No, £1,000, Ray. It's been really good having you on, Ray.
And it's been a pleasure to be here. That's why I came on.
Thank you very much.
Best show ever. I've enjoyed this show. Peace and love.
Yeah, thank you.
Jimmy. See you, Jimmy. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Fucked off, have you, fucking kook?
Oh, that were a good. Bloody hell, that went on tonight. That were a winner, that weren't it?
Yeah, it was a belter. That. I mean, this is what we need more of. This kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. That's what I wanted.
We're never going to get to the bottom of this, are we? That's for sure. Well, at least we can. And we have like things to look at. Like I'm definitely going to look at the what was it called that we're on about that
Operation Lockstep.
Yeah.
It
is interesting to look back at, and
this is the
and
thing.
Maybe next month we're on, we can talk about that more.
Look into that. Yeah, it's great. It gives everybody different. You hear different sides and all that, don't you? Which is Ray was outstanding, wasn't he, with all the stuff he was on about?
Yes, superb.
Yeah. It's going to be a bit different on Saturday, isn't it?
All right, yes, for Saturday.
Saturday is a bit, drinking Saturday. We like a drink on Saturday. It's all light-hearted on Saturday, guys. So we're going to, with your help in chat, write a Christmas song.
We're going to get a few tunes together. We'll decide whatever on the night what we're going to use. But together, we're going to write a Christmas song.
A Christmas song. And it can be anything you want. You're going out with all the lyrics, and we're going to write a lovely, lovely Christmas song for when we're all in lockdown. A lovely lockdown chorus.
If you think of some ideas we can about... I've got one slight idea. It was like a naughty boy who's a burglar. He goes around burglaring people's houses. He's a teenager. Anyway, he gets caught and things happen to him, and he changes his mind, and maybe it's a shit idea, and it's a shit idea. People come out with a better idea than that. Well, we're going to start with that shit idea.
No, let's write a lockdown Christmas carol.
Lockdown Christmas carol. That's it. Yeah, something like that.
And I've got a punk Christmas song for you all as well that I made up while I was in my wagon in my head today, and I'm going to I'll have the guitar.
And Jimmy said that he didn't get his chance to, but if he can come on, we'll hear Jimmy's new hit record.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'll get Jimmy to come on Saturday. Yeah, we'll hear his new hit record. So, like Rizla says, let's hope we all make it to Saturday. See you later, everyone. Thank you. Bye now.